I am raining. I am in this little park, but there used to be houses here, as is always the case. And I just dug that out of the ground. So we're in the only part of it that's not a deep converted new lawn. I have no idea what that means, but it's a little piece of culture. Looks like there's some words on the back. You have to pardon me, we'll have to wait for cleanup because it's starting to rain. There was the next signal, and that sounded really good, but it's not. I already filled up the hole, but a little piece of lead, melted lead, like utility lead. That could be old. It's already gone white. Oh, looks like it might have actually been sheeting that got folded up. So, yep. Here's an 81 or an 82 that is just sounding solid. And there, like you can almost grab it. So, it might be a can. Or it might be this penny that I can see right there. 78, so yeah, it's a wheat penny. I mean, not a wheat penny, copper penny instead of zinc, so I was just giving a good signal. Here's our next one, and it is a, that's kind of mean is what it is. It's a 1965 clad quarter. Sounded really good, and I wouldn't have minded if that was pure silver from a year before. Okay, this one's like 87, 89. Got a little tickle of it right there. So we'll go half horseshoe. This is a little rocky knob that it just left. Oh, and that's what it is, a big old brass bolt. So it's kind of cool, but not quite what we're looking for. Down there a long ways. Looks like a copper cap that could just be off of some pipes. It's kind of thin. It's got a couple little dent marks. Maybe a snuff cap. Snuff lid. Top of a compact. It says Paris, New York. So there's a lot of these things that we're going to have to clean up at home, but look, that's some sort of fancy ornateness. I won't say what it is. It could be a piece of furniture stuff, but really awesome. Came out of that hole. So, yep, it's some of the last undeveloped real estate around, so it's cool to get in here and look at what's under the ground. That's probably going to be really pretty. Yeah, I just flipped this out of the hole, see where it sat for eternity. Look at that down in the hole. It's awesome. But now it's another piece of like furniture. I think we'll have to see. But it's pretty. Anything pretty and all. I don't know what that is. Part of a snap, maybe? Another one a little ways away. Oh, they say something on it too. Lift side. Okay. It's a nice cool little thing. It looks like a old lantern piece. Recognize those. It's for opening and closing the air. Here's our next something. Oh, look at that. That is really pretty. And there's a little pin next to it. That is really cool. This is kind of fun digging in town, and it just feels out of place. I'm usually used to doing relics out deep. Some cool little product tin, but it had a little stamp in it. Not even gonna try and clean that up right now, so you'll have to wait with me. We'll let it dry out, and then whatever falls off will be, you know, it's really thin. You could almost scrub it into nothing. Near it, this little thing, which may have been the bottom of it. We'll have to sort all that out. That little hinge, that older sinker, and that shell in the same hole. Getting muddy out here. This side of the ground, I believe it may have been a penny at one point. I don't know what kind of penny. But I think I'm seeing copper. So. Hey, I know what that is. That's a Model T valve stem. Well, I cannot see what that is. I believe it's a brass plate. And I thought it might be ornate, but it looks more like bullet holes through it. Okay, looking more just like a plate. There's a hole at either end. What do you know? There's our next out of the ground. That one looks pretty old and ornate. It's an on and off for water, like in a sink, but look, it's gone white. Really cool, really heavy too. Okay, it's getting dark on us.
So a fun day in the park. It almost rained all afternoon long, but it didn't until we walked over to the cars. It's perfect. And all kinds of fun stuff. Top of a cast iron stove lid, you know. Usual out of sorted rubble. This is a big square spike and another square nail, lipstick top. Herds of fun. And let's see, which one's the weedy? One of these is a weedy here. Who knows? But yeah, 1959 weedy, and
56.
56. Oh, see, just like
helping you with the eyeballs.
There you go. And then a steel button with patterns on it. And the two holes, that had me going trying to figure out what that was.
We got a lot of stuff here that's been identified from the 30s.
Yeah.
So
pretty fun for just a little 2-hour pick, you know. I'll have to investigate more.
What was that? Oh,
Copper brass, perfect little square thing, but no identification I can find on it.
still a detail.
That's it. Herds of fun.
Well, this was a short, quick run. We were busy all day, so I didn't really find anything great today. I found some assorted weird metals. That guy looked interesting, but he's probably smashed. And then coins, no good. 90 dime, 91 nickel, and some pennies. The usual suspects. Tin foil always reminds me of being a child when I find it. That thing, this weird stuff metal, this unusual, I guess the words already wore off it a long time ago, but it rang up very nice. and a projectile with 3 rings on it and a Remington top when the old thing was paper. And the find of the day for me was this very cute square nail. So, a good day and all though. And the quest goes on.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that.
You're a messy guy.
It's like
That's
there.
actually heavier than it looks, and it might be a lid for, you know, a container like Mom has there, something metal. I'll show you my cleanup. We found a lot of products, you know, little tins and stuff that, what, 1928, the one cream and stuff. So
Bayonne from Park Tilford.
So when you look at these things, remember that they can be as old or older as that. So that's why they're kind of cool. And we're just in the middle part.
It's got a bigger hole than that.
Here's my cleanup. Where should we start? Here's this object. And you can see that it had holes in the bottom of it. I recovered these 2 pieces separately. Had a little lip that went around it. Not sure. Here's this plate. This plate is solid brass, and apparently, you know, it had a hard life. Looked like it got so hot that it melted. I think that there was a fire at this site, and then, you know, way back, and then because the whole place has a layer, and then it sat empty, and that lot eventually got turned into a park. I believe this is a lantern piece. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember them being. Here's our on and off valve knob. Here's this piece of it's like sheet lead, utility lead. Other objects, leaf spring, pieces, bolts, large stuff, circling into the good stuff. Cleaned up the valve. It does indeed say Schrader. It's a 794, so I'm pretty sure that's a Model T valve. Almost all valves, even anything that you see with the little push-in is a Schrader. Little hand-hammered rivet. Let's see, I'm calling this a ring even though it's rusty, just for kicks because I gotta get my ring fixed. Let's see, what else? These are snaps. They might be off of an automobile. They feel pretty heavy, and it says lift side. This side lift. So this could have been, you know, for some sort of cover for a convertible creature. These 2 pieces actually go together. This, which is a suspender clip from Shirley President Suspenders. This looks like pewter or something on one side. Couldn't make anything out on it. And then, couldn't tell, but it's got a patterning of some sort, if you can see that. And it's like a layer of copper or something on there. You see that? So, tantalize. Oh, I do see it. You see that with me right now? Look. It's like a dawn. See the cowboy face? See the cowboy hat? Follow the little bars across, which could be a castle or something. Bar, 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 bar. And then see his hat? It's tilted like that. And see the little face? Wow, that's awesome. So who knows? Maybe that's a little... There's the detail on it and a little thin copper layer. Since I picked this up, something has been telling me pay attention to it. Now I see it. Man, that eluded me till right then, and then it popped out. Yeah, that literally looks like a castle too to the right. Do you see that? See the lower window and then the upper turret. Oh, God, it's a piece of a treasure map or something, man. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's always fun to discover right with you and clean up. It's a rediscovery. Well, there it is. It's pretty deep in relief, too. Okay. Well, now, clear as day, you can see it. Duh. Never mind, Nate. Wow. Wow, see, pay attention. Clean the mud off stuff. A toothbrush that heavy, you know, and still couldn't see it until right now. Moving on. We have this. It's a product. It's Phaowen Cleansing Cream. Park and Tilford, New York and Paris. This is another product tin. Lid. Maybe older. I mean newer. Not sure, I did not recognize it. If anybody does, help me fill in that detail. Then we have hinges. This looked thick and old, but might just be, you know, that might be the building on the back and the president on the front, I guess. What else? Oh, this, you know, here's the suspenders, and then this, when I looked it up, the only thing it says on it is Royal Tailor. And when I typed that in with little clip, you know, I typed in vintage clip, it came up as a corset clip. And when I looked at it again, I thought, oh, well, that makes sense. So you have suspenders and then a corset clip, to the best of my knowledge. And so that's kind of cool. 2 holder-uppy doohickeys. That's snappy. And this is another little detail. See the little basket weave on the little pieces, but look how small it is. It's like a little piece of pewter. But that's, you know, a sign of old. This cleaned up nice. You can see it stamped. There's the negative in the positive image, and it's a little bouquet. It looks to be copper, thin but very beautiful. I don't know what product that was. Pretty cool. Found 3 coins. One older dime. It's a 76, a 65 quarter, and a 78 penny. This is probably my favorite find of the day. Couldn't even see what it was there. I thought it was floral design. Got home, looked at it. My mom's like sitting there. I'm holding it in my hand, just like you just saw with the face in there. And, you know, she's like, look, there's a fish in it. You know, one she kept calling it a monster fish. And I'm like, no, those are like flower leaves. And she's like, no, it's a monster fish. And I'm like, no, those are like flower leaves. You did too many mushrooms in the 60s. And she's like, no, that's a monster fish. And then she picks up this piece, and she's actually holding it like this, and she goes, and that's a face. And I'm like, oh my God, you're seeing faces and everything. You know, go eat some food, get some sleep. And then I turn it this way, and I'm like, oh no, wait. That is a face. And then when I looked at that again, I was like, oh, it is a monster fish. So, that begins the mystery of it. I don't know what material this is. It looks like it's probably copper and was plated in silver. You see that? Very thin, very delicate, and very beautiful. Where this attached to the other piece, I'm not sure. You can see her neck comes down, the hair curls up. You know, I'm not sure. They were found really close together, as in like an inch apart in the soil, kinda. Now this, when I flipped it over, I realized, gotta be real gentle, it's about to snap in half. It's like a buckle set up. So here's a little pass-through where a belt will come through, and a little bent over tab that's like a little hook. You see that? So it sure looks like a belt to me. But that would mean, if it was a belt, meaning, you know, strap running this way on a body, you know, of course this, you know, let me know if it's a purse or some sort of strap brooch that would go that way. But assuming that it's a belt, then it would run that way. Let's flip it over and look at the pattern. And the fish is sideways at that point. It doesn't make sense to me. And I have no idea. I've looked around and around and I'm like, how would this attach to it? So it's a strange thing, you know. I'm not sure. Is it some sort of strap that ran that way? You know, vertical on the body. It's definitely a belt. That I'm not going to bend it that way, but that would have stood up. A strap would have passed through there, and then that hook probably hooked through little things. So who knows? Maybe it was a buckle on a purse. You know, I have no idea. But there's her face. Awesome to have something like that come out of the ground. Probably one of my favorite relics. Everything here is dating from the 20s and the 30s. So, some really personal and special stuff. You saw it come out of the ground with me. So thank you for sharing another moment on the quest for details. These are definitely more details. You're ready for the gold field now.
I'm telling you, it gets down to sorting the mud gob. And I got a 1940, a 1950, and a 1957 weeded kit.
Well, maybe a button. I'm gonna have to use water.
The latest recoveries. This was my mom today. Let me show you this. It's got a name on there, printed around the edge, just like the squished out pennies, but it's a machine where you type stuff in and it prints it around the edge. They're pretty old fashioned. That's why they're mostly at classic amusement parks now. Looks like it had the United States flag in the middle. See the stars and stripes? And somebody put their own hole in it. They don't come like that. And wore it as a necklace. And then at the very back, Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe the people who made the blank. And remember, like if you liked it, don't if you don't. Subscribe if you want. I appreciate it so much. And comment below if you have any information, if you recognize any of this.